Hey Chicago Pinball Expo, what's going on? Jack Danger here. I'm currently standing in the Stern Arcade inside the Stern Factory, and we're going to give you an exclusive behind the scenes look at how these awesome games are made. So we're going to jump right into it and head over to the parts department and see what they got going on. Let's go. All right. All right, so here we are in the parts department. So every Stern pinball machine has over 3,500 parts in it, and we keep stock for up to 10 machines that we're making at any given time. And you can see every part is hand serialed, unique. I mean, who knows what you could find in here? We've got Metallica decals for the cabinet. They got backup of everything. Game of Thrones? I might actually have to take this home. All right, well now we're gonna go see how all 3,500 plus parts are inspected by hand to make sure you get the quality you expect out of a Stern pinball machine. Let's go. Is it possible for me to take one of these?
Oh, sure.
Thank you. All right, so here we are in the inspection area, and every single part that goes into a pinball machine here at Stern is hand inspected. This is a start button they're putting together. And it's all about quality control and making sure that these are correct and fit right before they go back into that parts department that we just came out of. And here you can see we've got a bunch of approved parts for games like Star Trek, Lord of the Rings. We've got some accepted dudes over here for WWE. Anything that comes in here is hand inspected with calipers to make sure it all fits the way it's supposed to. We are measuring out to make sure all of these leaf switches are exactly how they're supposed to be before they go into a game at your house or bar or wherever you're buying and putting these pinball machines. But yeah, get a close-up of those rails, man. Whew. I got a mask on. All right, so that was the inspection cage. Now we're going into wiring. So you may have heard the stories about how much wire goes into a pinball machine, and it is a lot. And we're gonna see how all of that is put together right now. Here we go. More wire than a Toyota Corolla, or whatever car Gary said. All right, so here we are in cable assembly. Every pinball machine has its own unique wiring schematics that have to be gone through and wrapped around just so we're not wasting wire, there's not too much hanging down in the cabinet. And again, it's all done by hand. You can see here, it's very labor intensive. You have to meticulously go through every little wire, every little curve. It's hurting my brain just looking at what's going on here, but she's got this down to a science, and let's keep moving. It looks like arteries. Here is the cardiovascular system of a Stern pinball machine. After the harnesses are done, there's still a lot of work that goes into this wiring. So you can see here, there's still more hand inspection that needs to go on. We're still stripping wires. We're still putting on connectors. Still very labor intensive throughout this entire process. After all the connectors and such are added to the harnesses, now we come over here to test what's happening. We gotta make sure all of these are working, because if one wire is out of place, we gotta send it all the way back, because we don't want that showing up in your game. All right, here we have one of our testing boards, and if this looks homemade, that's because it is. We have to custom make every single testing tool that we have here in the factory for every game that we produce. And look at this. You can't just buy this. We made this. Remember what I said about a bunch of wires? A sea of cables, all tested, ready to go into your pinball machine. It's wild. It's wild. The ball is wild, the wires are wild, everything's wild, bro. All right, so that's wiring. Let's head over to the wood shop to see how they cut these playfields. Let's go. This is between you and me, internet. This is stuff you don't normally get to see going inside of the wood shop. We're gonna see how they cut up these play fields to put in your games. So here we have a CNC machine. This is a computer-assisted cutting tool that is taking the schematics of the playfield and cutting it out precisely so you can put your mechanisms and your inserts into the game. All right, here you can see one of the computers that they're using to get the CNC machine dialed in just right so that the cuts are clean, They're accurate. All the mechs are gonna fit properly. The inserts are gonna slide right in. All computer driven. And this gentleman is making sure that everything's running as smoothly as possible. And then we also have a planer over here that is carving down the playfield to the precise width it needs to be, thickness, so that we can put it into CNC and everything is as precise as possible. The router is cutting out the perimeter of the playfield because it's done cutting out all the inserts, so after it's done making this outline, they can pop it out and start putting in the inserts. This is a pretty exciting part for me. Here we're putting in the inserts into the freshly cut playfields. We're adding the glue, hammering them in. You can see she's got a piece of wood to safely hammer the inserts down. Once these are placed, they come over here where we sand the entire playfield to make sure the entire thing is level. And this is the preparation to bring it to where we're clear coating them in this back room that we're not going to show you. I think we have a very finished product right here. You can see it's sort of shimmery. They've sanded it, cleared it, it made all the inserts clear again. This, I believe, is ready to start having some art and some mechs put on top of it. We're here in the decal department. This is where we're putting on all the art for the outside of the cabinets, and my guy over here is putting on the art blades for the interior limited edition Avengers Infinity Quest games. This, I believe, is a finished product already. We've got the front, the set. Yeah, this is done. Thanos, where are you, baby? There he is. This is the cabinet department. You can see we have some limited edition Avengers going out. This is the game getting put together, being ready for the playfield to be put inside of it. Look at all these cabinets. Look at it all. All right, we're still in the cabinet department here. We've got some armor here for the LE Avengers, it looks like, all lined up. This is where we take the cabinet that was put together and decaled and start adding the sub-assemblies. This is where we're putting in our coin doors, we're putting in our plungers, our back boxes are being put on. We got the boards in here. We're just putting everything in here before we drop the playfields in and start wiring everything up. You can see it's all protected and just ready to go down the line. All right, we're in sub-assembly. This is the heart of the assembly line here at Stern Pinball. Everything that goes into a game is being assembled right here, from the aprons to the toys to ramps. We actually have the sling ring from Avengers Infinity Quest being assembled here right now. Can I grab this really quick? Do you mind if I just steal this? Awesome. This is the spinning disc assembly from an LE Premium Avengers Infinity Quest. All hand assembled right here in Stern Pinball. Whoop! How do they come up with this stuff? I don't understand. All right, so this has to be one of the coolest tools here at Stern Pinball. This was acquired by Stern from Gottlieb back in the day, and every single playfield that has come through this factory has gone through this press. What this is doing is, depending on the machine that they're doing at the time, it's punching pilot holes for all your screws so that there's no guesswork in pushing your tools into that. In fact, I could show you a playfield right now. We have Avengers Infinity Quest, and you can see all these little punch marks for where the screws need to be so that when it's going down the line, they just push it right through. Pinball. Wowee, look at all these playfields. Next. Here you can see one of the custom tools we made so that we can get the drilling as precise as possible and work it on down the line. Let's walk down the assembly line and see how these games are put together. All right, here we are on the assembly line. This is where we're adding everything onto the playfields. You can see the mechanisms, all the light boards, the node boards are on here. We're putting all of our bulbs in. All the major mechs are being assembled and put on the playfields here, and it just goes down the line. And then after everything is screwed in, You can see the hoods here. This is where all of the soldering is going on. So all those wires and mechanisms that we talked about are all being soldered in place here. Again, all by hand, every single wire, every single connector being soldered under this hood to make sure it stays where it needs to stay and works how it needs to work. Pretty cool. Here you can see this part of the assembly line. We're putting on all the stuff on top. This is all the assemblies, all the ramps. You can see just here's the Avengers tower that's been placed on here. The flippers are going in. The Thanos glove has been procured and placed onto the playfield. She's also putting in the wire forms and the habit trails. Pretty rad. Here you can see all of the finished playfields that have been assembled, and these are ready to be tested on the rest of the assembly line inside of the cabinets so that they can get put out and ready to go. Now that the playfields are assembled, we bring them over here to our rotisseries where we test absolutely everything on the game. All the diagnostics that we run here, you can actually do on your machine at home, but we're just making sure all the coils, the switches, the lights, everything's working properly on this playfield before it moves its way down the assembly line and into a cabinet. Well, here we are, folks, final assembly. This is where the rubber hits the road. We are putting our playfields in the cabinets, and what's cool is we ship games all over the world. As you can see here, these games are actually going to Australia. But before these are done, there's one final test that needs to happen. So all the tests that we did on the rotisseries over there are happening one more time on the game. They're going through all the diagnostics, making sure all the switches are working, and they're actually gonna play it briefly to make sure everything is as it should be. So what's cool about what's going on here is this is literally this gentleman's job, to play pinball and make sure it's working the way it's supposed to. I'd say I'm jealous, but I kind of have the same job. All right, so this is final inspection. All these games are ready to go. They're getting one final look at to make sure all the QC has been done and it's ready to pack, which happens right over there. All right, here it is, final packing. We're finally putting this finished product into the box. It's got all of its instructions. It's been properly foamed, wrapped, taped, everything to keep it secure and safe. We're gonna close it up and send it off to you. You get it. Here you can see the stamps for all of the places that we ship our pinball machines: Mexico, Finland, Denmark. Everything is laid out here. This is to signify where it needs to go once it's all packed up. Well, there it is, folks. Thank you for joining me on this exclusive tour of Stern Pinball. We even showed you some stuff we normally don't show on these tours. That buzzer means it's time for us to go find Gary Stern and see what he's up to. Let's go. What's going on, Chicago Pinball Expo? I'm here with the legendary, can I call it legendary? Gary Stern of Stern Pinball, and we're going to play...
Sounds like I died.
We'll all remember him dearly.
Yes.
This is a hologram, by the way. We spent a lot of money on this.
Seriously, I have a quote. They'll probably cut this out, but I had a quotation for a taxidermist.
Oh no!
And I got a quotation, and when I'm no longer here in live action, I will be stuffed with moving eyes in the conference room watching everything that everybody does.
Just looming and judging.
So we're going to play some pinball, right?
Yeah. This is your new game.
High score buys.
Oh, frick. Okay. Wait. No. Okay. Yeah.
High score buys.
Sounds fine.
He's much better than I am.
I'm an okay pinball player. Gary, the Avengers. This is your game.
Absolutely correct.
Pinball. I heard that you had this game in your house for a while.
God, I wish you hadn't said that. And the reason I wish you hadn't said that is you're really going to beat me bad, and so forth. But I do. I take. Used to years ago. I've started again a pre-production game. I take home, pro version, because that's what we have first, and just to learn the game. learn a little of the play, a lot of what's on the game, the play field. Plus that it looks damn good.
Oh yeah. So you're helping beta test at the same time then.
Yeah. I found a couple ball traps, things like that.
My man.
By
All right.
accident.
Well, let's see if those ball traps got solved, huh?
I know
Two-player
they
game.
have.
Okay, good.
I know they have.
So, folks, if you haven't played this game, it's the newest game to come out of Stern. You probably have played it. Gary's not
And he
happy.
just took the one of the 3 skill shots. He took the interim one down there's a rollover there, star rollover, so he lobbed it in there. But if he was really good, he would have hit the post and lobbed back down
If
this
he was
way.
really good.
Really good.
All right, we've already
on
started.
the other hand, I'm going to go all the way up the ramp and around.
But wait, why would you go up all the way around?
Because I'm that kind of player. I'm a
Okay.
casual player.
Casual player.
Casual
You
player.
like to play for the casual guy.
Yeah.
Let's talk a little pinball here. Why the heck is Stern making pinball machines? Why aren't you making like slot machines and jukeboxes and stuff?
We like pinball.
Heck yeah,
I
we like pinball.
I like pinball, and somebody's got to do it. It's something I've done most of my life, if not all my life. My father started as a game operator in Philadelphia, and then became a game distributor or seller to other operators. And so in 1947, when I was 2, he came to Chicago to see Harry Williams, his supplier. So Sam sat behind Harry's desk kidding around, put his feet up and said, "Why don't you sell me the company?" And
Ballsy?
yeah, and so Harry went up in his airplane, flew around for 3 hours, came down and sold
As
my
you
father.
do when you own a pinball company?
Yeah, and no, I don't do that.
Oh, sure you don't care.
Nobody would fly in a plane. That's another story that I own. My salespeople said that to me years ago. Any event, so he came down and sold Sam half of Williams, and so since I've been 2, the family was making pinball. I started in the stockroom at Williams when I was 16.
Oh, wow.
I worked there in the summers and so forth. But and then
I'll let you
practiced
play in a
law
second, don't worry.
Practice law for a little while. That's all right. I just enjoy watching you. It's sort of like they say you should always play golf, which I don't, or any sport with somebody better than you.
Are you saying I'm better at pinball than
Whoa!
you?
Oh, I got my glasses on? No, I don't.
Meh.
I can't see.
All right, so you got your start in the stockroom. You're
Yeah.
16 years old.
Yep, in the summers. Yep. And then I did pretty much everything you could at that company. Okay.
You got another ball after this. No,
Yeah, I got 2 more balls after this.
This is true.
You're gonna have to edit this pretty good, folks. That people.
No, we're doing it live.
We're just riffing everywhere.
We're doing it live.
Yeah.
All right. Well, so okay, you've been in pinball for a very long time.
73 years. Yeah.
So have you ever wanted to design your own game? Have you designed your own game?
And no, I haven't. I'm a good critic.
Okay.
I can remember sitting on the living room floor with Harry Williams and Sam Stern, and they'd talk about a play field and so forth. And he would critique, and Harry would change to match what he wanted, sort of.
That's awesome.
Sort of. Harry tricked him. It was a simpler world.
Yeah.
You had electromechanical pinballs with step-up units and relays and what have you, and he could design and come up with a concept. He could draw the playfield. He could design the circuits. He could design the mechanical parts. He could make the whitewood. He could build the whole thing up. Now, today, everything's so specialized, not just in pinball, but in the world in general. And so we need people who are specialized in different things. And of course, the games are more complex. So you got playfield designers and rules designers, that they all interact, but and you got graphic people and graphic artists, and you got video artists.
Oh yeah, got the animators.
We have a video game in here, just in addition to a pinball machine.
Absolutely.
These are so sweet, aren't these sweet? So where are we at here?
I'm kicking your butt by
A factor of 10.
by a
You're
factor of
10
10.
times. You're buying.
Frick.
You're buying.
You know what? I'm happy to buy you some cheap lager from a grocery store somewhere.
Do they have any with high alcohol in it?
As long as it's yeah, please. No bar too far, Gare.
Yep.
What's the future of Stern hold?
We've got a lot more great games, a lot more great titles. and some technological changes that are very, very cool. I missed it.
Great, and you're going to explain what those are right now.
Yes. Yes, but they're running out of film, so otherwise I would. If they weren't out of film, I know they don't use film anymore.
Film is so expensive these days.
Yeah. It probably is. Patience is a virtue.
Patience is a virtue. Well, Gary, you lost.
Oh, is it over?
So I think I'll let you start the next game. Okay, that plunger feels weird, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was feeling weird to me too.
No, it's not strong enough.
Yeah.
I had to change the spring in mine, and I think that this one's probably not. No, it isn't. It's not lined up right.
Just launch with the action button on the lock bar.
Oh, that's no fun. I don't like that.
Yeah, that's fair.
I really don't like that.
Oh, so Gary, pinball is like it's getting popular again. Okay. And I want to know, what has Stern done to make it come back as like strongly as it has?
Well, first of all, great games. That's a given.
Great games, absolutely.
Great games. But you know, a lot of events, social media, tournaments, all kinds of promotion, all kinds of promotion. Somebody's promoting themselves.
Promoting myself.
He's promoting himself.
God damn it.
We've been rediscovered and discovered. Rediscovered by, older people, not as old as me, maybe, but and discovered by younger people. Today, a lot of people are staying at home. One day they'll be out back again in the barcades and the arcades and the bars, and they'll need pinball machines there. And they are, some of those already going there, these games in particular. The upside was what we call the rec room buyer, and that buyer is buying right now because he's staying home more. And the enthusiast, of course, is still interested as we make great games.
Don't death save in front of Gary Stern. He'll punch you.
We have growth, more growth to come. So we're increasing our production capacity. Right now, our back order is, I should have pushed the button.
Gotta push it.
Yeah, I just don't like doing that. So notice how I let it go out that time. And that ball save is
skillful.
I keep doing that. How come we have no volume on this thing? It's hard to play.
You want me to turn it up? I can turn it up.
But then they won't be able to hear us.
Gary's actually winning, ladies and gentlemen.
Wasn't that shocking? You see how
Listen, without saying the game we're playing, do you have a favorite pinball machine?
You know what I'm going to say.
Yeah,
I'm going to say I went out today, and I looked in the factory, and I saw we were making Avengers, so that's my favorite game. If you asked me 2 months ago, I would have said Turtles.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Which I also had in my apartment for a while.
Response. Do you have like a collection at home, or do you only keep? You don't?
No, okay. I just have the one. I used to have a 50s Williams and when we made the games for the Lake Placid Olympics, a couple Meteors and a couple Galaxies. Steve Kirk, Harry Williams, and they were done all white, but except for the black line.
I think I played one of those at Expo 1 year, a long time ago.
The Galaxy we have here somewhere, and
yeah, you're losing, Gary.
Yeah,
but
that's
not good. That's not good for me.
What games do I have in my office? Ask me that.
So Gary, what games do you have in your office?
I have. You made me lose the ball. I need a playover. There's no redos in pinball.
No mulligans.
No mulligans.
All right.
So any event, no, I have a pinball by Stern, which was the first pinball of the
pinball by Stern.
Yeah, of the other company, and then
the game pinball. The title was pinball.
Yeah. And I have a Laser War in there.
The Laser War.
Laser War.
The first one.
The first one.
Yeah. Internet. I don't know if you know, but Gary and I are both motorcycle enthusiasts.
As soon as I said boots, I knew you were going to say that. I do have Harleys, and
actually, hold on. Before you continue, the first time you saw my bike was at a charity event we went to.
It was at the hospital.
Yeah.
It was at the hospital.
And you're like, that was your bike out there?
Yeah.
Oh, dude.
Yeah. Now, you got to understand that the handlebars that are real high are called ape-hangers.
Yeah.
And he's up like this.
Yeah,
but for him, they're about here. For me, I wouldn't be able to steer the thing.
Yeah. You said you have several bikes.
I have 3.
Do you keep them around the country? Because anytime I go to an event, you're on a freaking motorcycle. California,
I rent bikes.
There was one event that I know you went to where you rode from LA to San Diego or something?
Yeah, that was a Comic-Con. Yeah. My daughter, granddaughter, son-in-law live in LA. So I would rent a bike up there and ride down and ride back up, and park under the hotel because that was cool, right at the event.
So, like, what are some of the innovations that we have come out with that have been like huge for Stern?
The first thing is that we have a whole new kind of electronic system. It's very simple. It's called a bus system, something I knew that we had to have, but I didn't know why. And George came up with a scalable system that is all LEDs more reliable and scales up so that we have a LCD screen in its same system, just add a little add-on to it, and better sound involved in it, and now we have some more things we're going to do with it. Other things that we've done, you know, the production techniques are quite different. It's printing play fields and decals instead of
screening right onto the cabinet, yeah.
That type of thing. And all the things that make it look like a more finished and complete product with greater detail to it. What's really amazing is what they do with this LCD screen now.
Heck yeah.
You know, they do different kind of games. Sometimes they're like Batman used the TV video.
Oh yeah, the footage from the show. Yeah.
Whereas this is all created here, so each one's different. There's so much more we can do with that. But the game is still on the playfield.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
It's all down
you're
there.
Still hitting a physical ball at other physical things, causing that chaos. Feeling that tactile.
It's a ball and bat game.
Ball and bat.
Keep your eye on the ball, and which I'll try and do. But you see, I've been talking to you, and I try and that ball is, you know, it's a randomizer. It is, as Harry Williams would say, the ball is wild.
Yeah, buddy.
And so that, come on, isn't that ramp cool? I mean, really, you got it. That thing, the ramp, you know, you can make it with any of the three flippers.
Any flipper. Well, Gary, thank you.
Tomorrow's Friday. I have to work too.
Son of a bitch.
You know? Don't you work?
Yeah, I work. I do things.
This is work?
This is my job.
This is work, huh? This is work, huh?
Gary.
Buying me beer, huh?
Okay.
Yeah, I think you lost.
Gary.
I mean, won, so you lost.
Son of a bitch.
Okay. Which light was that? I didn't qualify. I have to spell iron.
Yeah, you're throwing.
Yeah. I wasn't paying. I'm not paying attention. I'm busy. I'm so interested in talking with you, Jack.
Thanks, Gary.
Try not to show them how bad. Switch our scores.
They can't.
Switch our scores.
I don't think they can see the scores.
Yeah, switch our scores.
We're just gonna tell them that you're winning and we're good.
Well, I am winning. You owe me.
What? Oh, I guess, yeah, in that regard, you are definitely the winner in this. You want to know the score? I don't think you want to show that.
Okay. All right, you ready? We played 3 games.
3 games.
In the last game, player 1 was 29.30 million. Player 2 was 4.5 million. And one of us was player 1 and one of us was player 2.
That's how it works.
He owes me beer.
Always and forever.